So there's this idea in our research, decades of research, called think leader, think male. And basically what it says is that if you've got a man and a woman in the same position, doing the exact same things, acting the exact same ways, we tend to see the man as more leader-like than the woman, just because of our psychological subconscious biases that go into that. So what we were really interested in with this research was looking for exceptions to this rule. When the group was very extroverted, meaning that when they communicated with each other a great deal, when they were talking with each other, helping with each other, offering assistance with each other's projects, that was when the think leader, think male stereotype flipped. And actually the women were more likely to emerge than men. And it was only in that group, in groups that were more extroverted, and the ones actually that had more men. We think it gets back to the stereotypes that we have about men and women in our subconsciouses. When we think of men, we think independent, aggressive, competitive, risk takers, which is, for a lot of people, the stereotypical idea of a leader. When we think of women, we tend to think, true or not, more helpful, more cooperative, more caring. And what happens is, when a group is composed of lots of extroverted people, well, then they're talking to each other more, and they're getting to know each other more, and they're seeing beyond just, oh, there's 5 men in the group, and there's 2 women in the group, and this person looks like this, and this person looks like that. They're actually getting to understand each other's strengths and weaknesses and who might be the better leader beyond just this diversity and demographic stuff. So I'm a really big fan of the book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. And in it, he makes the point that one of the very first things that has to happen in a team in order for it to operate effectively and efficiently is for them to build trust with each other. How do you get people to trust each other? Well, you get them talking to each other. You get them to see each other not just member A of this team, member B of this team, or the person who's presenting this report or that report, but as a human being. Sometimes when I talk to businesses and I say, instead of working on strategy, let's spend an hour and just talk about each other's strengths and weaknesses and what they do for fun and things like that, they look at me and say, oh, well, that's warm and fuzzy. That's not what we do in a team meeting. But if you think about it, warm and fuzzy, what are we doing? We're trying to learn more about each other so that we can care more about each other, so that we can be more cooperative. Again, this gets back to that female stereotype in our head. So it makes the environment less masculine, more balanced, and it gives everyone a chance to play on an equal footing when it comes to who's going to be the leader of this team. There's decades of research showing this think leader, think male stereotype. It really explains why we've got the glass ceiling, why it exists, why it's taken so long for women to bust into the C-suite in organizations and businesses. Only recently has there been research starting to emerge that talks about how can we stop this? What kind of leader do you want? What kind of leader would you want to work for? People tend to answer this more now, well, I'd really like to work for someone who's really ethical. I would like to work for someone who really cares about me, who understands me, who trains me, who puts me first, who's very authentic. So as our ideas of what a leader is change, so do our ideas change of who a leader can be. So really the future is looking bright for more gender equality as far as who becomes a leader. And I think we're going to see that as we move forward over the next 10 years, both in politics and in government.